One.
Are we live? Hello, hello, hello. What's going on? Hello, EOS Nation. Are you guys ready for some awesome sauce, extra spicy juice with a double host episode?
Woo.
Hello, hello, EOS Nation. How are we doing tonight? Welcome back, Stefan Bisson today with us as a co-host. He's been on vacation and now he's super refreshed and recharged. Hey, Steph, how are you doing?
That's right. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for the welcome. Excited to be back and excited for this new live hot sauce format that I haven't been part of yet. A bit scary, but mostly exciting. And yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, we have a bunch of really nice hot topics. The EOS community is buzzing with excitement. So many things are happening. Like if you're on the race for rares, the race for rares is on. Better claim your free NFT, weekly free NFT quickly. And if you see this nice NFT, then you know there's a big fat EOS plus. And EOS plus stands for the working groups that the ENF just announced. We'll dig into this topic. Then we have some other topics. We talk quickly about some Pomelo stats. It's halftime for Pomelo, and we accumulated a couple of stats. Really impressive stuff going on with Pomelo. So many nice grants, pitch sessions, a lot of stuff, interesting things to see what all the teams are working on. Then we have everybody speculating what Helios is doing. We don't know much about it, but that's something everybody's talking about. Then we have GreeniumX as a topic. We have, we talked about it last week already, some NFT stuff from Provinz.digital, and a bunch of other news. So are we ready to dig in?
Let's get into it.
All right. So I started sharing my screen. Can you guys see it? Let me check. And hello everyone in the chat. Hey Joshua. Hey Kevin. Blue Sky, welcome everyone. Kevin D, Max Show in the house, yo, awesome. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or you know want to give your comment, I will read the chat quite regularly here. That's what allows this new format. We can engage with you more. Yeah, everybody that's new to the hot sauce, read in the description. Right now there will be like the link to claim your free spicy rare, and if you're not whitelisted yet, you need to join us in the metaverse, in our Cryptoverse, in a Cryptovoxel metaverse puzzle. So everything is in the description, and everything that we're going to talk here about, I will put later in the show notes for you. So the first topic that we had that just announced on Thursday is the EOS Plus working groups announced by the EOS Network Foundation. These are like 4 different pillars for the EOS ecosystem. And they're mainly focused on bringing infrastructure, like the core code, the code base. We can scroll a little bit down here. The 4 pillars, like Core Plus, works on software that maintains and allows applications to run on EOS. So it's basically the code base, how to maintain that. Then Audit Plus is a framework for security analysis and audits, so all the smart contracts are safe. Wallet Plus makes sure that the integration of EOS into external application works, and that we have some like unified process for all the applications. Currently, we have plenty of wallets, but when you log in, you always have a choice. What we want to achieve or what we want to get is like some smooth, unified process. And then we have API Plus, and API Plus is about APIs and history solution. That's one where EOS Nation is participating. Shout out to Matthew from our team. He runs Diffuse mainly, and he will be heading the API Plus. And as you can see here, like there are a bunch of teams involved in these working groups. Yeah, it's amazing to see all these people getting jobs, getting payments, getting funding to do all the stuff that they do best, right? They're all experts. They've been around for the last 3-4 years building EOS, like seeing all the updates, going through everything that has happening. And now, because of the EOS Network Foundation, they can really like do what they do best and you know, get funded for it.
Yeah, and I think what's really nice is that the EOS Network Foundation is enabling a lot more cooperation and collaboration than has been previously possible in the last couple of years, for example. So we see the list of teams here that are part of the working groups, and they're all the top teams that if you've been in the ecosystem, the EOS ecosystem from the start, you know all of these guys. You know all of these guys and girls are dedicated to the EOS ecosystem. They've been working hard to improve the best they can. And now with this new structure of working groups that's been enabled by the EOS Network Foundation, we're bringing together more collaboration and more cooperation between all of these amazing groups. And like you mentioned, on top of these, so the way the structure works for these working groups is that they're each given a budget of $250,000 to create a blue paper. So this blue paper is going to be kind of their game plan for attacking the specific problems and issues that they're looking to solve in their working group. So this blue paper is going to involve identifying what problems are currently are current right now for these topics. They're going to involve also doing research, not only within our EOS ecosystem, but outside of the EOS ecosystem and into the wider crypto ecosystem. And they're going to go see what other networks are doing, what works, what doesn't, so that we can then, and then they're going to make recommendations on, hey, this is what we think we need to do to address this issue or to address this problem. And during that process, these working groups, they have that budget, that's $250,000. It's been transferred into an account that's been MSIG with all of these participants per working group. So they need to come to consensus on how to spend and allocate that money. And part of this money and allocation could go to outside contractors. They might need to hire, you know, a technical writer. They might need to hire other experts, other consultants to come help them work, you know, in their working group. So this $250,000, the list of teams that we saw, which are all, you know, amazing people in the EOS ecosystem, there's actually even more opportunity for other people to also get hired, maybe, you know, on a full-time basis for a project, or maybe part-time, or just for a specific contract or stuff like that. So I think it's gonna like bring a lot of, you know, empowering the community, bring collaboration, bring the ecosystem together. And this is not just focused on EOS as well. Other EOSIO networks are incentivized to give their inputs on what's going to be going on in these working groups, which again, you know, increases collaboration.
Yeah.
So I think this is pretty exciting, and blue papers as they come out over the next few months.
Yeah, actually, they're scheduled for early next year, Q1. It's set to be when the Chinese New Year comes out. It's usually like around beginning of February, mid-February. And yeah, it's super engaging, and it's the first time that we have roadmaps, that we have like see what the teams are working on. When block.one was maintaining EOSIO and building EOSIO, there was always this kind of like, what are they working on? What comes next? There was a lot of unclarity, and now with the working groups, they're being transparent, and we know who they are and what. You know, we can ask what they're working on. With the blue paper, they're being like, they're doing the research, and then based on the research, it's decided what will be done. And also, I really like the aspect of reaching out to other blockchains, because it's not just asking them, they will also be engaged in what EOS and EOSIO actually can do, which I think a lot of people are not necessarily aware of, because there hasn't been much marketing, there hasn't been much outreach so far. So
another interesting aspect about these blue papers that they mentioned in this article, it's that it's going to create a multi-pronged roadmap. So now we're going to have roadmaps for all of these working groups, and within each roadmap, we'll have different deliverables that are going to be achievable. So each time we're getting closer to a deliverable, you know, it's going to able to generate anticipation, it's going to generate discussion and buzz leading up to each of these releases. So I think that's going to be really good for the ecosystem.
Right. And one example that leads in the next topic that we're having here about like what we can learn from other ecosystems, what we can learn from other blockchain is Pomelo, because Pomelo was inspired by Gitcoin, which introduced quadratic funding, an idea from Vitalik Buterin on Ethereum, and it works there. But now we have Pomelo, and we modeled it, and when we added a couple of things in there that we can do on EOS.io, and yeah, let's see some of the stats. That because we have halftime right now here on Pomelo, we have a total of 598 contributors so far. These are unique contributors. You need to be like, you need to log in with your EOS account, with your email account. Then we have 170 grants total that have been submitted. However, like not every grant gets accepted, right? We go through a process where we evaluate, is this really a public good? Because Pomelo is like, basically the people donate. We have $60,250 in donations, and they get matched with a matching pool of 500K. In order for that not to be abused, we need to make sure that these contributors are unique. And we need to make sure that this is a public good. So 170 grants have been submitted, and we have a total of grants that were accepted of 69 currently. 69 grants are up for voting, and throughout this season, throughout the first season, we already see a bunch of people like give each grant applicant like a stage. We see like GenereEOS doing their Pomelo pitch deck sessions, like they already had Liquid on, they had EOS Raid on, they had Declify on, the Boy team was on there. We had, before this all went live already, our guest from last week, Chris Barnes, who helped a bunch of projects and interviewed them before so you can really look into what is their plan. I will link all these in the show notes. And we do the pitch sessions in the EOS community Discord, which is also a Q&A. So you can join these if you're interested in one project. You can join this and ask direct questions. That's what I like about Discord a lot. You can the calls that we have there. They're also always open mic, and you can just join the voice channel and ask your questions directly and engage. So the next one will be coming up this Wednesday, actually, at 15 UTC. So follow at Pomelo Grants.
If we go back to these stats, so I've been off, trying to be off work as much as possible for the last about 2 months. But there's been so much going on in EOS. Obviously, I couldn't just be completely off work like I would have enjoyed. And the launch of Pomelo was super exciting for me because I wasn't really in the day-to-day operations of it leading up to the launch. So I was kind of enjoying it like most of the community when it launched for the first time. And I was absolutely impressed by the amount of grants that were submitted, by the amount of donations that were submitted, and the overall reaction by the community. I got in there, I spread some EOS around to a lot of grants. It was super fun seeing people that I recognize in the community, you know, posting up grants. I was very liberal with the EOS I was spreading around, and it was really enjoyable. And I think what's important to note here also for season 1 is that, you know, it is a learning experience for everyone. As much as the team that's building Pomelo is learning a lot, we're iterating a lot, we're adding new features as we see the requests coming. For the people that are submitting the grants, they're learning what a public good is. A lot of people didn't maybe quite grasp the concept of a public good, or that Pomelo was focused only on public goods, but people are learning more every day. People are editing their grants to make it more public good oriented. And I think for future seasons, you know, it's just going to get better and better. The quality is going to get better and better. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how this all ends up in the next, there's another week or so left for
donations are open till first of December. Right. So yeah, 10 days.
So it's exciting. I think we're up to 50,000 in donation or 60,000 in donation.
Let me see.
Again, Another number, yeah, 60,000. So like all of these numbers are higher than I would have imagined, which is just great, which is just great to see and super exciting.
Yeah, and one more stat that we can look into is like we have different categories, right? So different categories for the grants, and something that reflects the need, what also the working groups are addressing, is the need for infrastructure and developer tooling. And I really like it that like the most grants, the most applications are all for infrastructure, developer tooling, infrastructure in the lead, almost double as developer tooling. And then we have arts, media, community, and education, and ecosystem growth. But yeah, infrastructure is taking the lead here, and that brings me to a nice little meme from James Mart. And that's him in the infrastructure section of Pomelo. Like, I think that's the feeling that everybody is having right now, browsing through Pomelo and recognizing all these grants and seeing the people, what they're doing. Like, the community is really coming together and like reading and learning what everybody's busy with. That's another factor of Pomelo. It's not just funding, it's also a forum showing off the ideas and projects and what people are inspired to do and think what is needed. And it creates so much communication and exchange, similar like the working groups, you know, right now in the open, like discussing things and yeah, having a lot of like fruitful conversation about how to improve and how to grow our ecosystem.
That's definitely how I felt browsing the Pomelo grants on that first day and just adding all of those to my shopping cart. It was great. It was great.
Yeah. And shout out to James Smart. Like he's been super on fire, like with his Twitter. Like he's like back in the community, like with the EOS Power Network, also a grant that you guys can check out on Pomelo. And yeah, super active.
Definitely added that one to my shopping cart for sure.
Yeah. Yes. So we have the EOS Network Foundation with the working groups. We have Pomelo coming up. Another one that's in the news recently a lot is Helios, right? And the Helios, like it shortly after the press conference of the EOS Network Foundation, Helios was announced. And there was a lot of money, like, you know, going from block.one, or a lot of EOS actually potentially going from block.one to this new kind of EOS VC, like it's kind of like they want to do funding and it's more VC. It's not like for public goods like Pomelo. They really want to support projects that are also for profit. Not necessarily public goods. So, but after this was announced, like the community is really asking, like, okay, where's this money coming from? Who's getting the money for these EOS? And there has been a lot of conversations, as we can see, like Brandon Blumer, Brock Pierce, who is leading Helios, and Yves LaRose from the EOS Network Foundation. They actually met, and we're super excited to hear what's coming out. I think there's a bunch of things going on in the background. The Twitter is on fire about this topic, about what the community is supposed to do. There's a lot of communication, and I'm really excited for this interview, which I learned about yesterday. The people from Bywire, they actually had the chance to have an interview with Brock Pierce. So it seems like they're having a lot of fun in the conversation. Bywire also doing a great job covering all the EOS news. They recently also got a recognition grant from the EOS Network Foundation for media, for EOS media, EOS related media. And since they got this recognition grant, it's really like they're popping so much articles and so much good content about EOS and stuff that's going on. And they're hashing their stuff also to EOS mainnet. So super excited for this interview. Everybody that's not following Bywire.News on Twitter yet, please do so, because like there's a lot of good content around EOS. And probably we will learn from Brock a lot of these conversations and also his plans for Helios, because this might be another like super important pillar for the EOS ecosystem. And a lot of the discussion and a lot of the new dynamism that's inside the ecosystem and in the community right now comes from all these news, from all these like new funding mechanisms that are freed up. Like you haven't been here. Like I haven't really welcomed you, Steph. Like Steph hasn't been around much, and he's coming now back into like a completely new ecosystem. Like Steph had like a holiday for like 2-3 months, and now he's coming back. Like, how does it feel? Like, how did EOS feel from the sidelines a little bit?
It was exciting. It was super exciting. The timing wasn't really my choosing for the holiday. Feels like I took some time off when there's the most things going on in EOS in the last 2 years. But it's super exciting to be back with all of these different groups, different pillars working on various aspects of EOS. And I'm looking forward to see how this Helios project ends up happening, or how that situation resolves. I'm sure we'll learn more in the next few days and few weeks. And yeah, it's an exciting time to be in EOS right now. And I'm super excited to be back in action in the thick of things. Looking at the comments here on YouTube, Joshua Seymour wants to highlight that we've got a new channel in the EOS Discord for the ENF working groups. So that's great.
Right.
That's another thing that popped up while I was away, the new EOS Discord, which is great. I popped in there a bit. I haven't gotten super deep yet, but I see there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of things to explore. And I personally think it's a great idea to move the community a bit away from Telegram and onto Discord. I think it's going to make it easier for us to be more organized, to find the information, and like Joshua highlights there, you know, new channels for example, the ENF working groups.
Yeah, to just have like an organized conversation all under one roof has been really nice. And yeah, we enjoy the Discord so far a lot. Should we move on to the next topic? Like I see also in the chat, Danny Obertier is asking if Bullish has already launched. I don't think so. I haven't heard any news. I heard like they unstaked a bunch of EOS.
Yeah,
but since I haven't heard much.
Mentioned this week on Twitter that apparently Bullish was launching this week with institutions, but that's the only thing I've heard on that topic, and I haven't actually seen anything else from that. So hopefully that happens, you know, in the next few days, next few weeks. Again, just a lot of things going live. Feels like in the same time for EOS, so super exciting.
Yeah, so I guess next week's hot sauce might be even more spicy than this one. So one thing that that also popped up out of like almost nowhere is like a project that Chintai is involved with. Like they have been talking a lot in interviews about like the potential of having like a carbon credits market running through them, and there's obviously high potential for carbon credits and trading them. And now GreeniumX was announced, and looking at their first like website, and every here we see the Chintai logo, and every page here is super impressive. They seem to cover all the important things that have something to do with sustainable economies. You see the 5 verticals right here: electrification, agriculture, hydrogen, power grids, and carbon capture and storage. So they seem to have their stuff together, and like here, $2 trillion combined in annual investment by 2025. That's a huge number. And you see the breakdown here into these like different segments. And yeah, we will share everything here in the show notes later, but it's built on the EOS blockchain, everyone. It's official. We have like something really nice launching on the EOS mainnet, and it's coming from Chintai. Chintai has been also a company that has some funding, got some funding in summer through block.one, and they just did like a conference in Singapore at the Singapore FinTech Week, and you know, they got probably some news coming out for themselves in the next days, next weeks, hopefully. Let's see what happens there. Here again, like, why put it on any other chain than EOS? We all know that EOS is like super sustainable and energy efficient, but it's nice to see this here, super crystal clear once again. Nice website, nice stats. Yeah, based in Singapore, powered by Chintai, launching Q1 2022. Super excited for this one. I'm pretty green. I like it to be green. I don't even have a driving license exactly for these reasons. So yeah, that's one of my favorite news this week, hearing that something like this comes to EOS. Yeah, how do you feel about this?
That's great. That's great. I mean, carbon credits seems to be a concept that's picking up a lot of attention across the world. I know in Canada, our Prime Minister recently has said that, you know, carbon credits is something that he thinks that we should focus on. So I know Canada is involved in there, and it's great to see Chintai releasing such a nice product. You know, Chintai, again, one of the other teams that have been in the ecosystem since the start. They've been building their platform for a long time, and it's great to see a product such as this leveraging the EOS mainnet and not just a private EOSIO chain, which is good. But obviously, we're here for the EOS mainnet, so it's really great to see that such a product with such high potential, with such a huge addressable market, you know, to be coming on EOS. So yeah, looking forward to learning more and seeing when it launches.
Yeah, and it's really like having these kind of projects on EOS really flips the narrative that a lot of people that are watching crypto from the outside, they all think like, okay, crypto and blockchain is all bad for the environment. And I think having these like really potentially big players on EOS shows and changes the narrative on like the whole aspect of the potential of blockchain in general, right?
So, yeah, absolutely. And I think that narrative, like blockchain is bad for the environment, it's based in ignorance mostly. You know, even Bitcoin, which is very energy intensive, it's actually promoting a lot of growth in renewable energy. And over time, just like before, people thought, oh, blockchain has used big criminals. Well, that narrative is kind of done now. People are more aware. Well, I feel like, you know, blockchain is bad for the environment is kind of a similar type of narrative, which with more education, with more awareness, people are going to drop it. And this type of project is really going to help educate people and open their eyes to realize, oh yeah, there are networks that aren't energy hungry like EOS. And on top of that, there's green projects that are built on top of it. So yeah, so really nice, really exciting.
Right. And before we move to now further on to my favorite topic, NFTs, we have a bunch of quick news about NFTs. We have D1360 asking in the chat about he wants to be a blockchain developer. Any suggestions to learn and where to work? So join the EOS Discord. It's in the show notes, and there is like for different developer groups, like front end, back end, all the other stuff, channels where you can learn and ask. It depends on your skill level already. And there's also a job section. So if you're skilled enough, like there's a job section for developers or for any other jobs really. So look for EOS jobs and look for the developer category in the EOS community Discord.
And there's also the EOSIO certification that block.one has released over the last year or two. So you can look into that as well, which I'm not sure if they're still are free. I know they were free when they were first released. And it gives a bit of an introduction to how to code on EOSIO. And I have a few friends that have done them, and they thought it was really good and helpful. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, and a bunch of these resources are actually in the resource channel in the EOS Discord as well. If you click on one of the earliest channels, there's a resource channel, and there's an accumulation of all the interesting news links, everything that brings you into EOS. If you're new to EOS, that's basically where you find all the information, depending what you're interested in, from community to NFTs to games, to DeFi, to dev tools, to documentation. Everything is there in the EOS Discord community channel, sponsored by the EOS Network Foundation. Another great thing that they enabled. Boom, exactly. So yeah, a little bit in like shilling ourselves. We had the big drop coming up last week, actually. We were having two artists, like established artists, showing their artworks at the ART Cologne, and we were in a partnership with Provinz.digital, exhibiting at this.
What is ART Cologne?
ART Cologne is the oldest art fair in the world. It's super like prolific or like popular, like in the art world, like this is like jet set art scene. People fly across the world to attend this fair. And Jana, who was doing the streaming, like because she's in Germany and close to Cologne, she actually went there and checked it out. And it seems like in Germany, the whole NFT hype is still not really arrived. So the whole art fair had like 4 to 5 like galleries that showed a little bit of NFT art, and but really big players like Kenny Schachter was there. Kenny Schachter is one of the like bridges between the traditional world and the NFT art scene that's happening, and he's being like interesting, and he exhibited some things there, and we did 2 artists there. Erik Schmidt and Florian Adolph. I can explain, like, this is the work from Florian Adolph. And these NFTs are actually interesting because they're printing every month a new NFT. So this is an NFT that keeps on giving. Every month, if you buy one, you will receive another of these great generative artworks into your account as an airdrop. So it's basically like buy 1 NFTs and get 13 NFTs. And he wants to mimic basically like a traditional printing plate works, where you have a plate and you can make multiples from this. But yeah, it's going to be super interesting what comes out of these. I don't even know what these NFTs are generating. Yeah, Florian is super involved in the NFT scene. He comes from a traditional background, but when NFTs really popped up, he really felt that like digital art is the home for NFTs. So it's his premiere on the Wax blockchain. He's super involved with the e-scene. I'm super happy to have him over and converting him a little bit to Wax. He does a similar drop on the Ethereum blockchain, but there he can't do all these mechanics with like frequent airdrops because of the gas fees. And the whole thing is an experiment where we do the same kind of concept, but we do it on 2 different blockchains and potentially on 3 different blockchains. So, you know, it's really interesting, kind of for me, groundbreaking stuff. The other artist, Erik, he did the work. It's called "Tell Me What Democracy Looks Like," and it's based on. Here we see the drops. 3 drops is a little bit small. Let's go into the details. He went to to some protests last year. We had like the Black Lives Matter protests. And a lot of activity going on there, and like people were chanting, "Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like." And he incorporated these chants into these images, and in his like signature style of like bridging photography, video, and painting. If you look at his works on Artsy or on other pages, like his physical works are pretty high priced, and he's super established it already. And it's his first NFT drop. I'm again like super proud to bring somebody from the traditional world into the NFT world. And these editions that he's putting out as an NFT, from my point, they're 150 a pop, 50 editions per. But it's compared to his physical piece, that's really like a steal, I would say. Anyway, enough shilling of our own stuff. But we have an exhibition coming up in Cryptovoxels. And for everybody that joined us for the Race for Rares, by the way, let's check this Race for Rares. How many are still there from this nice NFT drop? Oh yeah, there are 2 more available. Better be quick to snag that one. So yeah, we have an exhibition in Cryptovoxels in our other parcel coming up for both of these artists, and then you can experience these artworks in VR as well. And if Jana is ready, we can do a quick tour there, if you guys are interested in all the stuff that we do in the metaverse.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. I haven't seen our gallery yet. I know you built it. I haven't been there yet, so I'm looking forward to see what it's all about. And it's great to see, Martin, the types of artists that you're bringing onto Wax. Like you said, you know, the first guy was established on Ethereum, but he wanted to do more and was limited by the capacity of the network. And now he's trying out stuff on Wax. Boom, that's beautiful. Love to hear that. And then the other artist is really, you know, creating art that's more, that has a lot of culture embedded in it, that's representative of the current times. It's also great to see.
Yeah, on the stream, we can see now Jana is like visiting the gallery. It takes a little bit of time. There we go, Provinz.digital.
That's great.
It takes a little bit of time to load.
Yeah, looks great.
Yeah, it's good to see these works. Like, that's the cool thing about NFTs, right? Like, it doesn't matter how big you see them. You can see them small on your phone, but like in the metaverse, in VR, you can blow them up into life size, because these works are like high resolution. That's one thing that we do with .gems as well. We make sure that the quality and resolution of these works is as best as possible. Usually Atomic Hub allows you to upload like 2 megabytes, but we do our own IPFS hosting with .gems. So we go really that it gives justice to the whole work, that in any environment, you can print these out like in large size. You can see them in VR and like make them like full life size. And it's
so
still crisp. It's still,
when I have my digital frame that I'm going to put up in my office, where I'm going to be cycling my NFTs through it, it's going to be high quality and it's not going to be pixelated, and it's going to look good for people to come in and see, what the hell is that, Steph? Oh, those are my NFTs. Let me tell you more about NFTs and the metaverse. And of course, the metaverse blew up absolutely while I took a bit of time off. And it's great now. You know, I remember last Christmas, I was telling my family, oh yeah, I'm buying land, you know, for thousands of dollars in these virtual worlds, and people just had no idea. Now they're messaging me like, oh, Steph, you heard about Facebook and Meta and all that's great. And the awareness is just climbing really rapidly. So I'm super happy that we have these metaverses that I can show people and friends and family, and makes these NFTs feel a lot realer to people, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, and it has been nice I like the feedback that I get from Provinz.digital, our partner in the traditional art sector. They're also super excited, because like they teach me a couple of things about like how editions work and what to consider, but they learn so much about like this new kind of like creative dynamism that comes from the NFT scene. So it's a really interesting time, and making these experiences for digital art in the metaverse is a great passion. So I will put the link to our metaverse gallery for both of these artists' gallery shows up. Click on the frog. There's a guest book linked, and you might get some, you know, some cute little airdrops. You're in our database, so that's coming up.
Yeah, and yeah, I just noticed there Jana's avatar decked out with some new clothes and accessories. Looking good, Jana. You're looking good.
Yeah, indeed.
Danny in the chat says that Wax is rocking. Absolutely, Wax is rocking. Tons of big brands coming over. Obviously, the price appreciation in the last few weeks has been pretty mind-blowing. Great to see. Absolutely great to see.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
That's actually one of our news here. Like this article, like Wax triples in value as play-to-earn games gain traction. So currently, like gaming, like is nearly impossible on doing it on chains that have high gas fees. So like a lot of people that are into gaming and having play-to-earn are all choosing Wax. We are like pushing the art there, but it's really amazing of like the ecosystem and what Atomic Hub is pulling off, the whole Wax ecosystem. There's so much, like I'm so happy for all these people. They've been working so hard, and now like it took some time for Wax to get their initial pump with all the NFT craze that's going on, with the metaverse craze going on, like, but now I think it was perfect for us, like selling NFTs on the ART Cologne. Like a lot of people were asking like, oh, why don't you do this on Ethereum? Why don't you do this on Ethereum? With this price pump and like showing that this is used by big brands, it means that it's long-term, right? It's like going for the long-lasting approach. Because like these big brands, they can't afford that their NFTs at some point won't be there. So Wax is built for NFTs, and it will be there for the future. You can like one thing that we're going now forward a lot, but like the speeches that William Quigley did at the NFT NYC. They just went live. The NFT NYC was like 2 weeks ago. Like the whole Times Square was blasted with NFT advertisings. Like Twitter was blasting with all the NFT artists, like showing off, hey, I'm on Times Square. I made it, mom. You know, like it was super nice. But the videos of all the speeches just went live yesterday. A bunch of videos. Everybody that couldn't make it to New York, like these are some really high quality speeches. A lot of like intelligent people talking about their vision about NFTs. And William Quigley really once again showed that he has like an amazing vision for NFTs and also for wax. So both of these, he was on a panel.
That's where the pump came from, because you know, I was talking with some of the artists, with an artist actually we worked with, who's been holding the wax. I'm like, have you noticed the price of wax? And then they're like, oh my God, it's going up. I'm going to keep holding stuff. I'm like, yep, that's the spirit. And then they asked, why is it pumping? I'm like, well, there's a lot of adoption, blah, blah, blah. But maybe these speeches was also, you know, what exposed a lot more people to the potential of wax and wax NFTs specifically. So that's great to see. I haven't watched those videos yet, but definitely will when I get a chance.
I'll put them in the show notes for you. Everything that we're talking up here, it will be in the show notes. Another NFT project that is going mega multi-chain actually comes from the EOS ecosystem. It's like the Crypto Writer crew. And they just, last week we talked about already their new NFT platform, which is called Underground.io, UNDRGRND.io. And they previously had the membership cards for the Crypto Writer, and you had a lot of like airdrops coming from every artist that they interviewed. Every NFT artist like gave for the interview one drop, and it went all to the membership, to the people that had membership cards. Right now with Underground, they have a new membership card, but basically you can get your Underground membership card by burning your Crypto Writer membership card. So that's something you might consider if you have a Crypto Writer membership card. It's time to burn it, baby. Burn that. So
I'll check the show notes for the links. I'll check the show notes for the links. Thanks for the heads up, Martin.
Yeah, check your wallet if you have a Crypto Writer membership card.
You can get your Underground membership
card by burning your Crypto another super essential tool for the whole EOS.io ecosystem, NFT ecosystem actually, is Bountyblok and their drop tool, right? And it was used and helpful for so many projects on Wax, and now they ported it all over to EOS. And that's potentially also because they received an recognition grant by the EOS Network Foundation. Shortly after they did that, they released their tool also on EOS. And I know you were working with this tool quite a lot, Steph, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I met Dimitri actually at an EOS meetup in 2018 in Montreal. You know, great guy. And then he was talking to me about the gamification side of things that he wanted to bring to blockchain. So I've been talking with Dimitri for a long time. The Bountyblok company kind of adapted itself, and then eventually they developed this airdrop tool. And I was actually one of the first people that was able to get beta access to this tool to test it out and to use it. And we used it for our first drop as .gems when we released the Van City Outbreak comic. So without that tool, we could not have done that release and the drop that we did and structured in the way that we did it. So I've been a big fan of that drop tool since the very, very early days. Since then, the tool has grown in functionality and capacity. Twitter contests, retweet stuff, much easier to do now with the Bountyblok tool. You know, people drop their account names in a Twitter thread. Back in the day, before that, I would have to go through those threads and manually copy a lot of things, and it was a very tedious process. Some accounts were typoed. Then you try to use it, import that list in the drop tool. There was an error. All of that's been fixed. Everything's automated. the accounts are detected if it's an accurate account or whatnot. And all of these features were built on Wax up until recently, and now all of those features are also available on EOS. So we're super excited to take advantage of these features for our drops and our releases on EOS. And yeah, just want to give a big shout out and thanks to Dimitri for all the great work that him and his team are doing over at Bountyblok. They're really, unleashing the creativity that can be brought through NFTs with these tools. And yeah, looking forward to see what other projects are also going to be leveraging this tool for.
Yeah, and again, these things only possible with no transaction fees. Like dropping NFTs in the masses, like really like searching for a template, searching for a collection, everybody that holds it gets like a promo, gets like this. You can distribute, you can really unleash the whole power that NFTs have for community building. NFTs are community building tools. They are anchors to everybody that follows you or supports you, and you can reward these people. And Bountyblok is really, like, as we can see here, like they helped 300 projects. 300 projects could grow their community because of this tool, because they had this direct link, could reward them for following, for collecting early things, and enabling us to do our job, right? We didn't have pack tag back then. We just dropped, everybody could have a placeholder NFT, and we could search easily to anyone that held this kind of like one NFT as a placeholder, and we could drop our whole collection to them. So massive shout out to Dimitri. Like, this is one of the tools that, you know, super helpful. And it's, I don't know on any other blockchain that has these tools right now. Because, you know, maybe I'm ignorant, maybe I don't know. Let us know in the comment if somebody has a similar powerful tool that gives NFT creators, artists, collectible producers, these kind of abilities. And yeah, again, it's now out in the open for EOS. It's been out for Wax quite a while, and you can sign up, log in with your wallet, and start like dropping NFTs to, you know, your fans or fans of other projects, because you can really easily look for people that hold a certain collection, hold a certain NFT, and then distribute NFTs.
And it really allows artists to reward the people who collect their art. You know, like Byron, one of the most prolific artists on EOS right now with his zombie collections. That's one of the things that he really enjoys about NFTs, is that he's able to distribute his art at a very low cost to people who have supported him in the past. So this tool is going to enable him to do that at an even greater level, and other artists to do the same.
Awesome. So another person that got, like, you know, we're talking about NFTs, right? We can't, you know, voices like doing their NFT thing. It was interesting that Salah, we all don't know really how, you know, voice gonna come into the EOS NFT scene, but he shared something interesting. So, right, he wants to import NFTs from other chains and then bring new NFTs to the EOS ecosystem. So something that we just talked about, that like transferring NFTs, like dropping NFTs, like trading NFTs is on EOS or Wax. It's super, it's easy to do because there are no transaction fees. So potentially, like, some people can import NFTs from other chains like Ethereum, for example, into Voice and then release them onto EOS. So Salah early said like there will be import export functions, but the way he sees this going seems to be like import NFTs from other chains and then release them, trade them, make them, you know, tradable on the EOS ecosystem. So curious how this turns out. When it turns out is interesting. But Salah seems to be bullish on EOS because that's another one that he kind of like shared, showing the distribution of blockchains in general. And, you know, EOS, again, shows that it's pretty much community owned compared to other blockchains.
And, you know, Solana and Avalanche lately have been on a tear. And then you look at these graphs and you see how savage the distribution is for their tokens. And yeah, we'll see how that plays out in the long term, having such a huge percentage allocated to insiders in the foundation. Like on Solana, for example, the public sale, you can't even see the sliver. It's insane. It's a tiny sliver that doesn't even show up on the graph.
Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
There's the public sale.
There's the public sale. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. But you know, that's what's great about blockchain technology is all these people are trying all these different things. We'll see what works out in the end. And you know, for EOS, that 10% might be reduced down to 3% insiders, right? Which is what block.one has invested so far. And that extra 7%, which is still not determined what's going to happen, might go to a foundation type of organization like Helios, which would make that graph even sexier for EOS.
Right. So yeah, shout out to you, Salah. I hope we see some voice NFTs on EOS soon.
We're looking forward to seeing anything voice on EOS. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Please. So yeah, we skipped the wax news. Like at least like this big ones, like, you know, we all, you know, cheer for the wax community. They had like, the IP that's dropping there is like every week there's something huge coming. It's really impressive. I can't even get in, right? Like Jana was trying to get into the Hot Wheels drop. There was a queue and like it was ridiculous amounts of people trying to get these like Hot Wheels cars. Now they have another one in the same week with the guy that's involved with like drawing The Simpsons, also sold out. Like it's really accelerating over at Wax, and that's just their own drops. That's just their own IPs that they sold, right? And they kind of like a magnet, bringing all like mainstream people in, and it brings like to all the indie producers, indie drop, like indie NFT artists, brings them more attention. You know, like Atomic Hub is like buzzing. It's crazy. Like absolutely. It's super amazing. So yeah, shout out to the whole Wax ecosystem. We will drop the links to William Quigley's great speeches at NFT NYC in the show notes. But yeah, there's another chain, EOS.io chain, using the tag that EOS, like that block.one put out, that we all the ICO investors for EOS, like basically finance, right? The code that Wax is running on, the code that Ultra is running on, the code that so many chains are running on, like, you know, is like really making some waves, I guess, in the crypto scene, right?
But Ultra has also been working a lot on their own version of EOS.io. I know they have a huge team of developers, something like 60 plus, or maybe even 100, working on various aspects of EOS.io to make it more custom built for their gaming and NFT focused chain. So EOS is another token that's been appreciating nicely in price lately. So congratulations to all the EOS holders out there. And they recently, the Ultra team recently released this article talking a bit more about their NFT standards, basically. So these token factories that they present, from what I understand from reading this article, kind of similar to a template ID that you would find in Atomic Hub on the Atomic asset. Whereas you know that when this specific NFT is minted using this token factory or this template, all the attributes are always going to be identical except the serial number or the mint number that changes. And you can know ahead of time how many mints in total are going to be able to be produced. And you can know that the creator of that NFT cannot then go back into that contract and change those attributes or change the maximum mint number or whatever, giving you confidence in the authenticity and, you know, giving you confidence that they're not going to rug pull the attributes or the quantities on you. So similar as creators on Atomic Hub through the Atomic Asset Standard, you can't go and change those contracts, right? Well, same thing is going on Ultra here. There's going to have, you know, the Ultra's NFT standard is a decentralized standard. So everyone's going to be using the same standard and no one can go back and mess with those standards once they're minted. But what was what I thought was even more interesting about this article is the cost to mint these NFTs. So on Wax, for example, when we're talking with projects, hey, I've got big ambitions. I want to mint 1 million NFTs. How much is that going to cost me, Steph? And then I go on the blockchain, check out the stats, you know. But those costs actually change over time because the price of Wax changes over time, cost of resources change, etc. So it's it fluctuates, right? And that's hard for businesses to plan how much cost their project is going to have. So what Ultra is doing here is that they're fixing the cost to mint an NFT to a dollar amount instead of fixing it to a token amount. So even if EOS token price goes 10x over the next year, the minting price is still going to be the same amount in dollars. So the example they use, you know, if it's a 0.1 penny to mint an NFT, doesn't matter if EOS goes up or down, it's still going to be 0.1 penny to mint an NFT in the future, allowing businesses to better plan, you know, their business case, allowing them to pitch to investors, hey, this is our plan. We know the costs are fixed on this blockchain, which is not something that is available on other blockchains, as far as I know. So I thought that was really cool, innovative, and going to enable a lot of businesses, you know, to build on the Ultra platform. The other interesting attribute for this NFT standard that Ultra is releasing is that you can have a cascading list of metadata sources. So, for example, a lot of our .gems NFTs, or actually pretty much all of them, they use IPFS as the place where we host the data, where we host the image, and then our NFTs on EOS or on Wax, they point to that IPFS hash, right, for the image. What the Ultra NFTs allows you to do is allows you to host that image or that metadata on more than one place. So then we can point to IPFS, but then also have a backup on Arweave, and also have a backup on whatever other sources we'd want to put, so that if one of these sources goes offline due to some catastrophic event on IPFS or something like that, then you have other sources that the metadata goes and looks for. So that adds more redundancy and more permanence to the NFTs on the Ultra network. So that was another feature that I thought that was pretty interesting and innovative that I've not heard of that exists elsewhere at this point. So all in all,
yeah,
pretty cool article. I recommend you guys go read it, learn more about these token factories, kind of the templates on Ultra, and you know, the Ultra vision is coming together. We're looking forward to getting in there, play some games on Ultra. I'm sure that'll be possible, you know, over the next few months. And yeah, obviously the market is excited for Ultra as well, reflected in the market cap. And yeah, again, some more exciting NFT gaming news for the EOS.io community.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the Ultra mainnet is already live, and the beta of they've been testing their storefront, their store, and communicating with like game developers, indie game developers for already almost a year, right? So they have people testing their product, and I think all these like innovations and all these like kind of things that like the stability of the minting price, for example, these are things you can think about if you have like a group of people testing your product and making it like really customized for game developers in order to like that they can build their businesses on the blockchain. Because like blockchain gaming, I think a lot of people talk about the potential of blockchain gaming, but realistically executing on this vision and making it like really nice for people and like look at all the little details, testing, like Ultra is doing a great job, not just like building their wallet, building their resource model. You said they worked a lot on the EOS.io core code, and they did. Like the resource model is simplified with like the power, some Ultra power or something, right?
Yeah.
The wallet is simplified, the onboarding is simplified. I'm super excited for the game platform, the game store going live, and I think we're close. Like a lot of things in the whole EOS ecosystem is super close. So I think for the following hot sauce, we have so much stuff to talk about. Super happy that I have you here as a co-host. So, going through all this stuff.
I've done a lot of gaming back in my youth, and I'm excited, although I don't know if I'll have the time, but I'm excited to at least try it out a bit on these new blockchain platforms. Play to earn, obviously huge trend right now in crypto, building a lot of hype. The narrative is building, and EOS.io is well positioned for that. I did notice in the chat, someone asked about Blankos. What happened to Blankos? Blankos is still going strong. Definitely a AAA game that is based on NFTs on EOS.io. I know recently they finally opened up the market to EOS, so you can purchase and sell your Blanko NFTs with EOS, so that's great to see. And they have said that they want to integrate EOS even more in the future. So Blanko's still definitely still going, and definitely one of the successes of the EOS.io technology.
Yeah, and EOS, they made it, EOS.io, they showed that they can have a blockchain game on EOS.io. It's just a matter of time to actually like link it to the mainnet in what form. However, like now you can purchase, I'm happy that I can purchase my NFTs, my Blankos with EOS right now, because, credit card doesn't really work for me that much. So super happy and excited about what they do. And they recently just got more funding to build more games. And I think since they have the experience like building Blankos in EOS.io, they might build more games on EOS.io. And that means that there's more chances to bridge them over to trade NFTs, because right now they are on a private chain, sure, because it might be more efficient, more manageable for them. But if we're talking about ownership of like digital assets, they need to be on a kind of public blockchain. Otherwise, people don't trust the value.
To your own wallet with the key that you control. Liquid,
NFTs about
the Liquid game is another game, play to earn, that's coming out soon. That's going to be, from what I understand, on EOS and Wax at the same time. They've got a grant up on Pomelo. If some of you want to go support one of our builders, Corbin, who's been in the EOS.io ecosystem from the start.
Absolutely.
Game looks really good. I got an invite for the beta. I spent a few minutes in there looking around. Looks really good. So definitely go check that out if you're interested in the more play to earn games on EOS. And this one is definitely on EOS. It's not on a private EOS.io chain. It's built on EOS, and the way they built the technology is very responsive. It leverages Diffuse, which is hosted by the EOS Nation team, and should be coming out soon. Another thing coming out soon on EOS. Yeah,
and the Pomelo grant is about SDKs. They want to enable everyone to build on mainnet. They want to enable everyone to do play to earn on chain, right? I think that was kind of the trade-off for games like Blankos. They didn't necessarily want to take the risk of volatility of resource prices, of all these kind of things. They have a lot to lose, maybe, because they are coming from big names like Blizzard, right? So they want to be in a safe environment. But like with these SDKs that Liquid is building, if they get enough funding on through Pomelo, a lot of people will be able to build games with like, for example, Unity 3D. One of the SDK allows you to build on chain with Unity 3D and plug this into the mainnet. Also Diffuse, bunch of things. Yeah, they were actually one of the pitch. They gave a pitch for the pitch sessions that we did on Discord. So yeah, check that out. They were also on the GenereEOS pitch deck. Really also one of my favorite grant applicants on Pomelo right now. And we're going full circle here. We almost started with Pomelo. So
all roads lead to Pomelo right now on EOS.
Yes, absolutely. And to the Discord, where we are planning to, right now, after this hot sauce, we're now an hour in, like we try to keep this digestible for everyone. So 1 hour is like magic mark. Super happy to have you all joining us live here. Also to the people that watch this afterwards. But if you're live with us now, make sure to join us in the EOS community Discord, because we're going to play some nice Emanate playlist right now and party a little bit in the after party. Emanate, another interesting project on EOS.io, enabling like real-time payments for musicians, not like Spotify. You know, you get your payment as a musician in real time every 6 seconds. I did like a blurb last also when I talked about every 6 minutes. It's every 6 seconds. You get paid
6
as
minutes.
a musician.
That's way too slow. I need to get paid every 6 seconds, Martin. And only on EOS.io is that possible.
Exactly. So we're going to party a little bit in the EOS Discord. And I also Ronald Hawk asking about his tokens in that are stuck in racks. Let's do this in the EOS community Discord. Join the EOS community Discord. There are plenty of people that might give you advice on how to do this. I think that's a wrap. How do you think about that?
Yeah, it's good. That's good. It's good to be back. Good to be back in action. Good to be back in the EOS streets. And yeah, expect to see me more often on EOS Hot Sauce Live. I like this new format that we're doing with the EOS Hot Sauce. More interactive, allows us to chat with the community on air. And yeah, I enjoyed my first episode back. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you either in the Discord for those who joined, or see you next week on YouTube.
Okay, so we established since you know, in the very beginning we had like Daniel Keys ending every episode with "Let's keep it spicy." We do this together once more. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's
keep it spicy.
Keep it spicy.
All right, we'll get that.